to the ball game. Welcome to the mound, Dr. Eric Jensen, the mayor of Carroll. Eric has been the mayor of Carroll the past 6 years, was an at-large councilman prior.
It's the game of fathers and sons. A dad would teach a young boy to play catch. He would teach him to hit, teach him to pitch, teach him to field. And then those boys would grow up to become these college players, and that's what we're seeing today between the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks from Carroll, Iowa. Hello, fans. David Coyer bringing you all the action on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. The Wheat City Whiskey Jacks snuck away with one late in yesterday's game to take the ball game 6-5 after a crucial error by the Sunfish in the top of the ninth would put a runner on second and end up letting him score later on. And so the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks improved to 8-12 on the season, while the Sunfish ended their 4-game winning streak 9-11. The mayor of Carroll, Iowa, throwing out the first pitch here at Merchants Park on this, road home game, at Merchants Park in Carroll, Iowa for Game 2 of this 3-game series, but Game 1 of today's doubleheader between the Sunfish and the Whiskey Jacks. That's right, for the first time this season, the Sunfish will be playing in a doubleheader, and how that works is it'll just be 2 7-inning games for these two teams. And once 7 innings hits, that's the final score, and we're not going to 9 unless it's a tie game and we go into extras, and extra innings rules still apply. Runner will start on second if we get there. Rather, that's the 8th or the 9th inning. Starting on the mound for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, getting his first start of the season, is Brooks Capel. He's pitched 3 1/3 innings relief in 2 appearances, has allowed 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. But don't let those run totals fool you in that short amount of time. Brooks can really throw. It's just been a couple pitches missing here and there, but he's ready to go, getting his first start of the season in Game 1 of the doubleheader. Here's who he'll be facing for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. They're coming into today's game now with a .239 team batting average, which is good for 10th in the Expedition League. Caleb McDowell, the designated hitter, will lead it off, just like yesterday, followed by Ethan Sitzman, Jake Hjelle, and Jackson Sorensen, the same first 4 for the Whiskey Jacks. Rhett Stein, Nolan Drill, Dylan McKee, and Houston Fogelstrom will be the new 4 in the 5 through 8 spots, and then Joey Guajardo is batting 9th again, and we are about to be underway from Merchants Park in Carroll, Iowa. Capel winds and delivers, and the first pitch is drilled straight up the middle. A nice floater into center field, and Caleb McDowell picks off right where he left off yesterday. A 4-12 first pitch. McDowell yesterday went 3 for 5 with 3 runs, 2 doubles, and an RBI. He was the game-winning run yesterday after getting on with that crucial error in the 9th inning that sent him all the way to second. It was an overthrow by Norris McClure at short over to first to put the Whiskey Jacks up 6-5 in yesterday's contest. So now the leadoff man is aboard for Ethan Sitzman. Sitzman playing short again. He takes the first pitch high to right field. Backing up is Gannon Thompson. He catches it in front of the wall. McDowell started to tag, but I think he was just trying to draw a missed throw from Gannon Thompson out and right. 2 pitches and have led to a base hit and a fly out. And with 1 out away in the top of the first inning, Jake Hjelle, who went 2 for 5. He's the one who drove in that winning run. McDowell had made it to third, and just a base hit in the 9th inning scored McDowell off the bat of Jake Hjelle, who has had a fairly successful season against the Sunfish here in 2021. A pickoff attempt by Capel. No tag over at first. Adonis Forte, Kenny Dutka, and Gannon Thompson from left to right in the outfield. Norris McClure makes his first start at third after having played short and second so far this season in his 4 games. First pitch in the dirt. Clay Huavehi scoops it up and feigns a throw to first. Benito Garcia back at shortstop with Jonathan Brandon and Dylan Cricket Danielson on the right side of the infield. The sun's starting to peek through the clouds. Cade Clay Huavehi calling the signs behind the dish for Capel. The 1-0 to Hjelle. Curveball swung on and missed. Jelly's really been struggling with that pitch this season. Wind blowing from left to right as Old Glory shows out in the outfield. It's 84 and mostly cloudy here from Carroll, Iowa. It rained last night, but The field doesn't show much signs of it as the sun has been shining all morning. The 1-1, another pitch, low. It looked like a slider. Swung on and missed by Hjelle. He's now down 1-2. Happy Father's Day to all those listening on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. We got a pretty solid crowd here, more than we saw yesterday at Merchants Park. It's a beautiful Sunday for baseball, and what a better way to spend Father's Day as a pickoff attempt at first. No tag from Cricket Danielson. But what a better way to spend Father's Day. I know I would sometimes, on Father's Day, go maybe catch a Milwaukee Brewers game as I'm from Wisconsin. Otherwise, we'd always go to my grandpa's house and do some yard work for him and just spend time with him. There goes McDowell, swing and a miss, strike him out. Let's see if we can get the throw him out. The tag, not in time. Jonathan Brandon had the nice tag. He was just to the first base side of second. The throw hit him on the fly, but McDowell swipes second base, but Jake Hjelle strikes out swinging. So with 2 outs, runner on second, it's Jackson Sorensen.
Third baseman number 31, Jackson Sorensen.
Sorensen went 0 for 5 yesterday. Scored a run, but struck out twice. He was 2 of the 9 for Sunfish pitching yesterday, 8 of which came from Griffin Hassel. First pitch, a fastball, just misses. Believe that was high. Again, with some of these strike zones, you can never be so sure. Tristan Jones calling the balls and strikes today with Sam Barrett out in the field. Walker Bullington not at today's game. He's on some personal business in Tennessee. Pitch driven out of play. Sante Wilson in the bullpen was looking to try and make the barehanded grab. He couldn't. The Sunfish wearing their all whites with the orange left sleeve, teal right sleeve. Flip them on the Sioux Falls across the chest with the teal numbers. Actually, orange numbers. Wow, I've been seeing these uniforms all season, and I just got the number color wrong. Black hats with the teal brims, the orange and teal SF on the hat. The 1-1, a fastball misses outside. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike to Sorensen. Dylan Cricket Danielson at first, wearing the teal stirrups. Norris McClure at third, wearing his pants up, black socks, and Brooks Capel on the mound with black stirrups. Otherwise, everyone else has their pants down. Here's the 2-1 from Capel. Grounded, right side, that gets through. The diving Jonathan Brandon into right field. The stop sign was at third as Caleb McDowell was ready to round, but Robbie Laughlin at third base giving the stop sign as a 2-out single puts runners at the corners.
That'll bring up the catcher.
It was a slow roller to the right side, and
Number 22, Rhett.
Dylan Cricket Danielson couldn't get it to his right, and Jonathan Brandon had the late dive right at the outfield grass, but the ball squeaked by him. So 2 outs, runners at the corners for Rhett Stein, who hasn't played since Thursday when the Whiskey Jacks lost to the Badlands Big Sticks. He went 1 for 6 with a strikeout on Thursday. The pitch, a curveball, hits the zone right above the belly button for strike 1. Capel attacking the strike zone early. He's been relying a lot on the fastball to begin hitters, as he has been all season, but starts that one off with a curveball, the 0-1. There's the fastball, it's low. Capel does a little spin in front of the mound as he knows that one got away from him. For those who didn't listen last night, it's 322 to the right field corner, 326 to the left. Left center alleyway, 358. Right center, 353. And just to the left of center field is a curveball misses high. It's now 2-1. Just to the left of center field, it's 392. And it was about the 390 mark that Gannon Thompson hit his moonshot home run last night. 2 balls, 1 strike from Capel. Drilled to center field. Coming in is Dutka. It lands in front of him. There were a lot of hangers like that last night, as that one looked like it was slowly falling off the end of the bat of Rhett Stein. And a 2-out RBI single by Rhett Stein for the second day in a row puts the Whiskey Jacks up 1-0 right away in the top of the first inning. The sun now really shining through the clouds. They're moving. They appear to be moving to our left. But as the wind's blowing to the east, the first pitch to Nolan Drill misses high. We'll see how these clouds start to move, but right now, the entire field here at Merchants Park is bathed in sun. Capel checks back at second, looks in, sets, and delivers. Fastball hits the inside corner at the knees for strike one. Drill, one of 4 players in this lineup who didn't play last night and haven't seen action since Thursday, went 1 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs against the Big Sticks. He's got 2 on already as the Whiskey Jacks lead 1-0. A fastball swung on and missed. It's now 1-2. Drill will be in left field today. Brooks sets. And here's the 1-2. Drilled high down the right field line. Thompson coming over. It's going to be in foul territory. A tough play. He lays out, but wasn't even close. A good attempt by Gannon Thompson. Didn't look like he had much of a jump on it as it was off the end of the bat, and with the wind blowing from left to right, that definitely got carried. Drill batting .245 on the season, 10 strikeouts. The Whiskey Jacks, notorious for striking out. They're tied for second coming into today's game. Here's the 1-2. Curveball foul off the helmet of, I think that was Kalehu Avehi, as he walks in front of the plate, and Tristan Jones walks out to hand it to Brooks Capel, but it looks like Cade's okay. And it was Kalehu Avehi who hasn't made much of an appearance behind the dish in quite a long time, especially since the arrival of Will Olson, giving the Sunfish a round table of about 4 catchers. The 1-2, curveball now driven high into shallow right field. Thompson finds it, camps underneath for out number 3. But the Whiskey Jacks strike first back-to-back days. 1 run off 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. It's 1 run for the Whiskey Jacks. We'll see how the Sunfish respond in the bottom half of the first inning when we return. The Whiskey Jacks strike first in the top of the first inning with one run off 3 hits. We'll see what this Sunfish lineup can do, and here's who's going to try and do it. Cade Kalehuavehi leads it off. He's behind the dish for Sioux Falls today. Kenny Dutka, Jonathan Brandon, and Norris McClure are your 2 through 4 hitters, and the number 5 hitter, Gannon Thompson, all of which played last night. But then the last 4, Jesus Licone, Dylan Cricket Danielson, Benito Garcia, and Adonis Forte, haven't played since Thursday's game in Piers. Kalehuavehi takes a change-up for a strike. Cade went 1 for 5 last night with an RBI and a strikeout. And they're facing Jake Anderson. Cade shows bunt, but a fastball on the outside corner hits for a strike, even though Cade pulled back. Anderson, in his 6th appearance, has thrown 16 innings, allowing 16 hits, 3 runs, 13 walks, and 12 strikeouts. Just a 1.68 ERA. As a fastball gets Kalehuavehi looking, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and Cade's bat, only time he left his shoulder was when he looked like he was going to bunt. It's Kenny Dutka now up against Anderson, and Anderson has an appearance already against the Sunfish back in their first series of the season on May 29th. Dutka swings at a fastball low. Went 3 innings, allowed no runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, and a strikeout on the 29th. In the 5-4 Whiskey Jacks victory, off the end of the bat, fouled out of play. Kenny Dutka down, no balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the first inning. Dutka went 2 for 4 last night with a run, an RBI, and a strikeout. The 0-2. Drilled high, right center field. Coming over is Guajardo. Camps underneath it and makes the catch for out number 2.
Guajardo under that for out number 2.
Nolan Drill, Trey Guajardo, and Houston Fogelstrom from left to right. Jackson Sorensen, Ethan Sitzman, Dylan McKee, and Jake Hjelle from left to right on the infield. With Rhett Stein calling the signs behind the plate today for Jake Anderson. Jonathan Brandon, who went 1 for 3 last night with a walk, a strikeout, and was the last active Sunfish player to record a hit by pitch. He was drilled in the shoulder last night. First pitch to him, a fastball high. And I wish there was a radar gun here because, man, there's a pop in that glove from Anderson as he's really just relying on the heater. That time he goes to a curveball that hits for a strike. It's now a 1-1 count. There's a man walking with a shirt that has a Captain America shield on it that says Super Dad here on Father's Day. Breaking pitch misses high. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. The Sunfish they were getting on base. They struggled a little bit in innings 2 through 4, as did the Whiskey Jacks. A fastball is fouled over the grandstand, evens the count at 2-2. But what really made the difference in last night's game was, as much as I hate to say it, the lack of defense for the Sunfish. 5 errors. And it's just a lot of it in the infield, a lot of overthrows, a lot of misplays on balls. Here's the 2-2 to Brandon. Check swing, he did go, but the ball goes all the way to the backstop. Jonathan Brandon is going to get to first on a drop third strike. That's the first time a Sunfish has reached on a drop third strike, and it's definitely because of this backstop. Even on foul balls or wild pitches, it hits the wall and just absolutely dies, does the baseball. And on that one, I don't even think there was any bit of a ricochet as the pitch just went sailing underneath Rhett Stein. So with 2 outs on a drop third strike, Jonathan Brandon reaches and Norris McClure swings through a curveball. He went 1 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout in just his 5th appearance. He debuted last Sunday against Sioux Valley, had the walk-off walk, and McClure has been red hot at the plate since then. Fastball misses away. It's now an even count. This is McClure's second time against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. A lot of other players on this team have upwards of, well, this would be the seventh matchup between the two teams. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. McClure, out of his 4 games, has had multiple hits in 2 of them, including a 3-for-5. As the runner goes, a double clutch by Rhett Stein throws it down. To throw just a bit late. I think if he didn't double clutch, he might have caught in JB. Jonathan Brandon gets the stolen base. And now with 2 outs, it's a 2-1 count as that pitch missed. There's a runner in scoring position for McClure. The 2-1. Drilled down the right field line, but hooking foul. Pulled just a little bit of that one. It's a tad bit ahead on the changeup. McClure always searches for that fastball, but then again, who doesn't? And when he gets a piece of one, he likes to, well, drive it hard and drive it far. Here's the 2-2. Off the end of the bat, over the head of Sitzman at short. Brandon's rounding third as that one gets into right field. The throw is going to be cut off. And off the end of the bat of Norris McClure, opposite field, Jonathan Brandon scores from second. So a costly drop third strike by Rhett Stein. It should have been 3 up, 3 down for the Whiskey Jacks, but Brandon reaches on the drop third strike, and Norris McClure drives him in with an RBI single. And the Michigan State University outfielder, Gannon Thompson, steps up. He had an absolute bomb of a home run last night over the left center field wall as he takes a breaking ball low. Went 2 for 4 last night with the home run and a strikeout. He scored twice on his second hit, a single. He ended up coming around to add a third run of insurance. Takes a fastball, skyrockets it to shallow right field. Charging in is Fogelstrom. He lost it in the sun. It's falling, but coming to make the grab is Dylan McKee from second over his shoulder. The second baseman helps his right fielder who lost the ball in the sun. A round of applause by the fans here at Merchants Park, but the Sunfish tie it up. It's a similar first inning to yesterday. 1 run for both of them, and the Sunfish get it off of 1 hit, no errors, with 1 left on base. It's a tie ball game as we head to the second inning from Carroll, Iowa. Back in the top of the second, it's the Whiskey Jacks and the Sunfish for the 7th time this season. Game 1 of today's doubleheader. That's right, only 7 innings being played in today's game. And if that were the case last night, well, the Sunfish would have lost either way as they didn't score their runs until the 8th. Pitch bounces over the plate to Dylan McKee, who's getting his first attempts against the Sunfish this season. McKee made his debut for the Whiskey Jacks on June 8th against the Spearfish Sasquatch. As the fastball misses inside, it's 2 balls, no strikes. Since then, he's batting .250 with a double, 2 RBIs, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. The pitch from Capel misses low and away, and it's a 3-0 count to McKee. McKee coming out and making that nice inning-ending grab as a fastball right down the middle keeps McKee ahead, 3 balls, 1 strike. But defensively, he's already shown he's got some speed and a glove as he ran out to right field to help his right fielder make the grab. Fastball misses inside, and the leadoff man is aboard. That's just the 3rd walk of the season for Capel.
That'll bring up right fielder number 21.
He allowed 3 hits in the first inning and a run to score, but Houston Fogelstrom, who is 2nd in the Expedition League in strikeouts, and the one who lost that fly ball in the sun, as the sun has kind of been covered up on some clouds now here at Merchants Park. 27 strikeouts on the season for Fogelstrom. He takes the first pitch off the end of the bat to the back netting. And again, this netting is, well, it's more of chicken wire. You know, something you'd put around a coop or something like that, or maybe even just a fire pit you have in your backyard. It's got no give to it, and the ball just kind of thuds and falls to the ground when it hits it. The slider hits the zone for 2 strikes to Fogelstrom. 27 strikeouts on the season. Back on Thursday against the Big Sticks, he had one when he went 0 for 3. And with a runner on first, no outs, McKee ready to go. He's just got a small lead at first, but he looks like he's ready to go. Curveball swung in front of and grounded foul on the left side. It's Father's Day, and what a better way to spend a Father's Day than coming to the ballpark. And, you know, I was asking some people before the game, it's like, oh, what did you do on Father's Day? And, well, some people is, well, we did nothing. A pickoff attempt at first, no tag by Cricket Danielson. Some did nothing. Some would, you know, your classic just Father's Day grill out. Maybe some lawn work or something. For me, it was we'd always go to my grandpa's house, mow his lawn, trim his bushes, and just kind of do some yard work, help clean up. Curveball misses away. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. But obviously there's baseball, and there's always the Father's Day baseball games. Come out to the ballpark, get a hot dog. Whether it's professional, collegiate summer league like this, it's just fun to go out and watch, even play. This one drilled hard left field. That's going to fall in front of Forte. He was on the run, and he had to stab the ball out of the air behind him. Almost got by him, and that's a base hit after McKee led off with a walk. Fogelstrom, who was down 0-2, takes a fastball into left field. And now there's runners on first and second with no outs in the top of the 2nd inning. It's still a tie ball game as we're at the 9-hitter, Joey Guajardo. He went 0 for 4 yesterday. Guajardo, in just his 5th game, shows bunt. But a breaking pitch low makes him pull back. It's a humid one here at Merchants Park in Carroll, Iowa, while the sun's not shining. And it's only, you know, in the mid to low 80s. It's a hot one. The 1-0 bunt fouled to the left backstop, just to the right of the Sunfish bullpen. Coming out to get it is Lane Hovde, who's the acting head coach today, along with Tyler Olmstead. They're kind of co-head coaches today, as Sunfish head coach Walker Bullington is in Tennessee. Wonder if he's listening. Of course he would be. Wants to see if his Sunfish are doing well. And right now it's a tie ball game in the top of the 2nd. The 1-1 from Capel. Grounded. Right side. That's through for a base hit. Stop sign will be given at 3rd. The throw in from Thompson over the head of Cricket Danielson, but stopped by Cade Kalehu of Ahee. And that's Wondering what Thompson was thinking there, as the stop sign had clearly been given. Everyone was slowing down, but he just fired that as if he wanted to go home right past the cutoff man. So now bases loaded, no outs, after back-to-back base hits off of Brooks Capel. And Caleb McDowell, who's had a hot pat in the past 2 games, steps up. Had a single, a stolen base, and later scored to begin the game. First pitch to him, a curveball, misses away. The Whiskey Jacks, gray pants with black trim, light blue unis with dark blue shoulders and arm sleeves, white numbers on the back with white jacks across the chest. A curveball misses below the knees. It's now 2 balls and no strikes to McDowell. They got the light blue hats with the dark blue brims and the, I'm going to call it the Angry Bird logo. Their logo is a bird holding a stick that looks like a bat. This one's popped high, but hooking out of play down the right field line. I didn't even see where it fell. There's fans looking, and it must have gone more over the grandstand here, the overhang. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike to McDowell. Cricket Danielson playing on the grass. A liner up the middle, bounces into Brandon's glove, flips it to second, over to first, not in time. So just the 4-6 put out on the fielders, or 4-6 fielder's choice. That's out number 1 as Guajardo is tossed out. McDowell's safe at first, and McKee scores, and it's now a 2-1 ball game. So second base now remains empty with runners on the corners and 1 away for Ethan Sitzman. McDowell had only seen 1 pitch coming into that last at-bat, and he's rising Capel's pitch count quickly. As Sitzman also was first pitch swinging. He was a flyout, even though McDowell singled in the first inning. Here's the 1-out first pitch to Sitzman, and a changeup misses away. Capel's been throwing with speed, and a lot of his corner pitches have not been called strikes. He's been trying to play with the corners and hasn't been getting many calls. The 1-0, runner goes. Fake throw by Kalehu Avehi. McDowell's going to take second for free. It's his second stolen base of the game. Now runners on second and third with 1 out. The double play has been taken away. And that's something that seems to happen a lot for the Sunfish, is a stolen base will put a runner into scoring position and score him in either that at-bat or the next one, or it'll take away a crucial double play possibility. Here's the 1-1. Foul to the back netting. It's now 1-2 to Sitzman. And that can be killer, because then on a ground ball, well, a runner from third now might score on the throw over to first instead of just a quick flip to second and a flip to first. That's why the double play ball to get McDowell at first would have been ideal for this Sunfish defense. The 1-2. Curveball. Misses the outside corner. A nice breaking ball. It's now a 2-2 count. Again, see, Capel's been trying to paint those corners, which is something that he does well. Almost better than a lot of these other Sunfish pitchers on the team. Goes to the curveball again, hits the inside corner, and Sitzman knew it right away as he began to walk back to the dugout.
That's a Sunfish strikeout.
A key strikeout for the Sunfish. That's
Sitzman goes down on strikes, round number 2.
strikeout number 2 for Capel today. Griffin Hassel threw 7 yesterday. It is 7 innings of work in that 6-5 Whiskey Jacks victory that came down to the 9th inning. 2 outs now in game 1 of this doubleheader. Jake Hjelle, who was the first strikeout of the game, steps up again. Capel sets with runners on second and third. First pitch fouled over the grandstand. Immediately, fans getting up and running to go try and get a souvenir. That was always another fun thing about Father's Day. Your dad takes you to a ball game, And you try and chase down those foul balls. I mean, that's every baseball game. I have yet, in my 22 years of life, have yet to catch a foul ball at a professional baseball game. The 0-1. Curveball swung on and missed by Hjelle. He's down 0-2. And I say I've yet to catch one. I have been given one. I was at a spring training game down in Sarasota, Florida. The Cincinnati Reds third base coach had been in between innings every time he came out, be handing a game ball to a lucky fan, and it came down to me, my brother, and another kid, the 0-2. This one drilled high to left center, coming over is Dutka. He dives, it gets by his glove. 1 run scores. Here's the other one as Hjelle trots into second base. A 2-out, 2 RBI double for Jake Hjelle, and the Whiskey Jacks widen their lead to 3.
Scores Fogelstrom and McDowell.
Fogelstrom scores from second,
Jackson Sortson.
or scores from third, rather. McDowell scores from second, and it's now a 4-1 ball game. Jackson Sorensen, who singled in his first appearance of the game, steps up with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. But so it came down to me, my brother, and another kid. And the third base coach, as a fastball hits at the knees for strike 1. He originally gave it to this other kid. But people are just like, no, he's already gotten one. And sure enough, in his backhand, he already had a foul ball. And that came down to me and my brother. The coach looks at me, slaps it in my hand. It's a great moment. But I still have yet to catch a foul ball. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt, stopped by Clay Uve. He pops the helmet off, but Jake Jelly's just going to trot back to second base instead of trying to make it to third. And Cade had been taking some time off from catching because, well, he was having some arm troubles. He just couldn't throw the ball all too well. And he said it had been bothering him. And so he was put at second a few times, but was mainly DHing. As a fastball misses high, it's now 2 balls and 1 strike to Sorensen. But I asked him before today's game, I was like, how's the arm feeling? He said it's good, and he said it had been feeling good for a while, and I think the reason he just hadn't been catching was, well, Will Olson's now here from Augustana. Declan Beers has been catching a couple games as well. Then you have Carter Tibbetts. Fastball away, it's 3-1 now. And having 4 catchers, well, someone's not going to get as much playing time behind the plate. And when you can put Cade out at second base, well, it was working. He's got a nice glove out there, good range out at second. Here's the 3-1 from Capel. Swung on and missed, fastball blown by him. It's now a full count, 2 outs, runner on second. The double from Hjelle and the single from Houston Fogelstrom both came when they were down 0-2, and so now the first full count of the inning from Capel to Sorensen. Here's the payoff. Off the end of the bat to the netting. Sorensen stays alive. Pitching coach and acting interim co-head coach. That's a wordy title for Tyler Olmstead. Long story short, he came out to kick the foul ball. The payoff once again from Capel. Off the end of the bat, this time driven far out of play, foul. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat, now on to pitch number 8 to Sorensen. He's fought back to the full count. And you got to wonder how much of the pitch count Capel can handle. This will be pitch 52. Off the end of the bat again into the Sunfish bullpen. Off a foul, not a foul pole, a light pole right by the Sunfish bullpen. Back into play. Asante Wilson coming and grabbing it this time. That was pitch 53 in just 1 2/3 inning of work for Capel. He's allowed 3 runs in the second inning. It's a 4-1 ball game. Whiskey Jacks, Hjelle dancing around at second. lost him in the dirt. Klehuavehi finds the ball. Hjelle just stays at second again, and a 2-out walk puts runners on first and second for Rhett Stein, who singled and had an RBI in the first inning that made it a 1-0 ball game originally. The Sunfish would go on to tie it up in the bottom of the first. For Weed City has crossed now 3. And for a pitching staff as good as the Sunfish, and for, well, an offense that's as poor as Wheat City's, it still just baffles me occasionally why Sioux Falls seems to struggle against these teams. 116 in runs, 86 walks, which is good for 12th, 200 strikeouts, which is second most in the league, just a .339 on-base percentage, which is 12th in the Expedition League, as a fastball misses inside from Capel to Rhett Stein. That's the Wheat City's offense. Just the 8th most runs allowed, 140 for Sunfish pitching. They've walked to the second least. Runner goes to third. Throw from Klehuavehi. Did he get him? Yes, he did. The throw from Cade landed right in front of the base, gloved by Mixlr. And Jake Hjelle was getting aggressive, but he's caught stealing for out number 3. We'll see Rhett Stein again. The Whiskey Jacks crossed 3 off 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. It's 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the second inning.
Take a 4-1 lead after.
The Whiskey Jacks cross 3 in the top half of the inning to take a 4-1 lead early on in game 1 of this 2-game doubleheader. We return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. Hello, fans. David Coyer here on a sunny Father's Day in Carroll, Iowa. Jesus Licone, who wrote something in the dirt just behind home plate in the grass, takes a curveball for ball 1. As he leads off the inning, Licone, Dylan Cricket Danielson, and Benito Garcia each get their first at-bats, as most of Wheat City has already gone through their second after that long second inning. A fastball misses high and inside, and Licone looking a little irritated on that one, and I wouldn't blame him. He's been hit one of the most times out of anyone on this Sunfish team. A fastball misses away. It's now 3 balls, no strikes to the big man. Out of active players, Blake Burrows leads the team with 5, but he is currently injured. So out of active, Licone's tied for first with 4. As a breaking ball on the delayed strike call hits the top half of the zone. Licone had tossed his bat and was starting to trot down to first on the delayed strike call by Tristan Jones. Looked like a bit of a slider, had some nice movement to it. Anderson struck out Klehuavehi to lead off the game, hasn't had a case since, as this breaking ball misses high, and that one at eye level. So Licone going to walk down this time, confident in his walk. The first walk allowed today by Anderson. That's his 14th allowed on the season. And I was ending that bottom or top of the second inning talking about, well, how the Sunfish pitching fared against Wheat City hitting. And we can also look at it the other way. First pitch to Dylan Cricket Danielson is fouled off the end of the bat just to the left of the Wheat City dugout. While the Sunfish are just 9th in runs, they have scored more than Wheat City. They're 3rd in walks, 1st in hit by pitches, 9th in strikeouts, 2nd in stolen bases, 3rd in on-base percentage. A breaking ball on the inside corner hits. It's now 0-2 to Cricket Danielson. And a Wheat City pitching, they've allowed the 4th most runs, the 8th most walks, the 3rd least hit by pitches, which is a plus, but they've struck out the least batters as a fastball misses just outside off the plate. It's 1-2. Their batting average against is the highest in the league at .305. Yet somehow the Sunfish just seem to struggle against Wheat City pitching, and while their defense and pitching struggle against the Whiskey Jacks hitting. Cricket Danielson swings and misses on a curveball in the dirt. It's now 1 out.
Cricket goes down on strikes, run number 1.
Cricket Danielson went 0 for 4 with a walk and a golden sombrero on Thursday his last time. That's 4 strikeouts, so in his last 5 at-bats, Cricket Danielson has struck out 5 times. And while he doesn't lead the Sunfish in strikeouts, the man at the plate does, Benito Garcia. He has 20 on the season as he swings through a pitch for strike 1. Cricket, with his 15th, takes sole possession of 2nd place on the team in strikeouts. Jesus Licon led off the inning with a walk. He's at first, and Benito Garcia lines one up the middle. That's going to bounce into the glove of Sitzman, who makes the dive. He can't make the flip to second. Licon takes the hard turn, but he can't take off towards third. He is clapping at himself. A nice diving play by Sitzman. He dove, got the ball in his glove right behind second base, tried making the backhand flip, but it couldn't get into the glove of Dylan McKee. So Licon safe at second. Benito Garcia with the infield base hit, it's being ruled. And now with 1 out, it's runners on first and second for Adonis Forte. He's one of 2 players in this starting lineup who has, well, their father here on Father's Day. First pitch to Adonis misses low and away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Adonis, the lefty from Southeast Missouri State, SEMO, went 1 for 3 with a double, a walk, a strikeout, a hit by pitch, and 2 stolen bases on Thursday. Takes another pitch low and away. He's had back-to-back games with an extra base hit, the double on Thursday, and an RBI triple on Wednesday out at Hyde Stadium in Pierce, South Dakota. The 2-0 to Adonis. Changeup hits the inside corner. It's now 2-1. And an infield hit, well, Adonis, you can't put it by him that he might not, get on an infield hit. As a pitch gets away from Stein but rolls down the first baseline, no one's going to go. Three balls, 1 strike now to Forte. Again, he's quite quick. Second on the team in stolen bases with 11. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed, a fastball. It's now a full count. Adonis batting in the 9 spot again today. He started off the season higher up in the order, and while he was getting hits and getting on, he started to struggle a little bit. Grounds a fastball into the right field for a base hit. Lee Cohn, no stop sign at thirds, running home. The throw past the cutoff man, Jake Hjelle, and a head-first slide by the big man into home. Gets a run across for Sioux Falls.
He's safe at home. That run brought to you by Farmers.
Adonis Forte rolled over one and got a slow dribbler in the right field. And the throw from Fogelstrom past the cutoff man of Hjelle kind of bounced into the glove of Red Stein. If he had turned around and maybe made a tag, he could quite possibly have gotten Lee Cohn, but Lee Cohn with the head-first dive at home crosses safely, and just with one out, a run scores. The lead now just a 2-run lead for Wheat City to Cade Kalehuavehi, who takes a fastball high and away. Back-to-back base hits score Lee Cohn. Kalehuavehi takes his first ball of the game. He had 3 straight strikes thrown to him. And the only strikeout of the game for Jake Anderson. Gets a curveball to fall at the knees for strike 1. 2 of the speediest base runners on second and first in Benito Garcia and Adonis Forte. Forte taking a little running start on the pitch as a curveball misses in the dirt. It's 2-1. And wouldn't put it past Benny to try and swipe third. The Sunfish very aggressive on the base pass. Second in stolen bases. Just behind Stewart's Valley. There goes Benito. Check swing in the dirt. Double clutch by Stein. He throws it into left field. Garcia's going to score on the E2. And it's now a 1-run ball game. So Benito Garcia steals third. Draws the throw and that sails over the head of Jackson Sorensen into left field. Forte is safe at second, and now a runner in scoring position for Cade Kalehuavehi, who's up 3-1 on Jake Anderson. That's the first error of the ball game for either team. And there goes Forte. Pitch has not been thrown. The pickoff at third, too high. Forte gets underneath it as the pickoff attempt from Jake Anderson at third base should have gotten Forte as a sitting duck as he took off before Anderson even started his motion. And here comes Robbie Laughlin to talk to his pitcher.
Timeout on the field.
The Sunfish taking advantage of some sloppy play by this Wheat City infield. Forte swipes third.
At the merchandise stand down here on the third base side.
And now the tying run just 90 feet away.
You have a chance to win some money and prizes from all our wonderful
Cade Kalehuavehi
if you don't sign up. So
on the season has 6 RBIs. Looking for his 7th, which is just 90 feet away. He had one in yesterday's game to tie it up. And now he's looking for another one. The visit on the mound breaks. Cade currently on a 3-game hitting streak, is 0 for 1, as this has been a very long at-bat for him. As runners have gone, throwing errors have sent some runners home, and it's just a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Cade has gotten an RBI in his past 2 games. As he gets one off the end of the bat into the netting, it's now a full count. 1 against Wheat City last night. 2 against Pierre on Wednesday. And we'll see what the Flying Hawaiian can do on the payoff. High chopper, third base line, foul into the glove of Sorensen, just in front of the third base coaching's box. And actually, I was mistaken. There are 3 players' fathers here today that I'm aware of. Adonis Forte, his dad is here, Kenny Dutka's dad, and Matt Hess, who will be starting game 2. Fastball high to Cade. He draws the 1-out walk, and now runners are at the corners with just 1 away.
You got Forte on third.
And Kenny Dutka,
Center fielder.
the Richmond, Texas native, his family up from Richmond. Yesterday he went 2 for 4 in He had told himself if he wasn't going to get 2 hits yesterday, he was going to shave his mustache. And well, he said he got the second hit, but it wasn't the prettiest hit. He gets one, rolls over one, right side, gloved by McKee, and he throws that one away. Forte scores. Dutka on his way to second. The backup from Anderson, he picked it up in the visitors' batter's box. And an E4 scores Forte, and it's a tie ball game from Merchants Park. Kalehuavehi makes it all the way over to third. Dutka to second. And it's a 4-4 ball game in the bottom of the second inning. The Sunfish and Whiskey Jacks going run for run thus far. Some infield mistakes and just some misplays in the field have crossed 3 for Sioux Falls as Jonathan Brandon takes a fastball high. But Dutka got the 2 hits yesterday and was not happy with his performance still, so mustache is gone. Kind of made me concerned this morning as a curveball misses in the dirt, bounces in front of Stein. It's 2 balls, no strikes to Jonathan Brandon. But Dutka gets off the elevator this morning, and I'm just like, I almost didn't recognize him. And I told him that. I was like, holy cow, almost didn't recognize you there. And he kind of gave a chuckle. He's like, and he told me the story of why he shaved it. The 2-0 misses high. It's now 3-0 to Jonathan Brandon. He was the first run scored in the game after he reached on a drop third strike that should have been out number 3 in the first inning, but he ended up coming around to score. Here's the 3-0. Fastball high, and the bases have been walked loaded. Jake Anderson asking for a new ball. And now with the bases loaded, one of the most notorious hitters for the Sunfish, Norris McClure, steps up. He's got a .778 slugging percentage coming into today's game. Yesterday marked the first game of the season for Norris McClure out of his 4 that he did not have an extra base hit, so his slugging percentage dropped significantly as he swings through a curveball. Started off the season with just a .500. Brought it up to an .889 after he hit a home run. .929 after had his second home run. And he got a hit yesterday as the fastball misses away. And despite getting a hit yesterday, it was just a single, and it dropped it from .929 to .778. He already has a single in today's game, but he's drilled. And Norris McClure is hit by a pitch. Kalehuavehi scores. Kenny Dutka over to third. And on a hit by pitch, what other way really would it be? The Sunfish take the lead. That's the 38th time the Sunfish have been hit this season. And as Walker Bullington would say, well, we got to take the magnets out. Gannon Thompson takes a slider in the dirt. It's 1-0. Thompson had that monster home run last night. The wind blowing to right field today. The 1-0, a slider away. So Thompson can't, if he's going to pull one, it's got to be all power. Shortest part of the park is the right field line, which is opposite field. Here's the 2-0. Fastball inside misses. It's now 3 balls and no strikes to Gannon Thompson. Jake Anderson, who started off today's game going 2 up, 2 down, and almost 3 up, 3 down as the pitch misses in the dirt. 4 balls straight to Gannon Thompson, and back-to-back batters reach on a pitching misstep by Jake Anderson. A hit by pitch to McClure, and Gannon Thompson walks this time, all with 1 out. The Sunfish now hold a 2-run lead, and Robbie Laughlin is going to make a call to the bullpen. We'll see who he brings in right after this on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. The Sunfish have crossed 5 so far in the bottom of the second, and there's just one out. We'll see what happens when we return after this. Cameron Daigle relieves Jake Anderson with the bases loaded and just one out here in the bottom of the second inning. It's a 6-4 ball game after the Sunfish have crossed 5. And really, there's only been 2 hits. The rest have been walks and one solo error as Daigle fires a fastball in across the knees for Jesus Licon, who started off the inning with a walk and later scored. Jake Anderson, 1 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 3 hits, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. We get his run total. When the 3 who are on, as a pitch misses in the dirt, it's now an even 1-1 count. And when the 3 who are currently on either get retired or score, those will be awarded to Jake Anderson. The wind really picking up here as a slider crosses just below the knees to Licon. It's 2-1. The wind really picking up, blowing from left to right again. Old Glory looking like she's about to be ripped off of the pole out in center field. And Daigle, who's a righty, is chest facing straight into the wind. He has to step off, I think, to reset. Jesus pulls one down the left field line, foul. That's the first one he's gotten a piece of. It's now 2-2. Cameron Daigle coming into today's season, 10.24 ERA, 4 games, 9 2/3 innings pitched, 10 strikeout, 3 walks. As the pitch comes inside, does not hit. There's a runner cut off. There goes Norris McClure. The throw down to second, not in time, and Jonathan Brandon, he's gonna score. The oh crap works to perfection. It worked the other day to tie the game for the Sunfish, and now with just 1 out in the bottom of the second inning, it works again. Norris McClure was almost all the way down to third before Rhett Stein even knew what was happening. He threw it down to second. McClure got back right in time, and Jonathan Brandon on the throw comes all the way down. Licon rolls over one, but to the fencing right in front of the Sunfish bullpen. I don't even know what happened with my pen so I can even score that. We'll use a different one for right now, but Jonathan Brandon scores from third on the, we've been calling it the oh crap, the payoff pitch. Licon pulls it down the left field line, just foul. Back-to-back for Licone. He knows he was just ahead of it. We'll see if he can straighten it out on this one. So 6 have now crossed here in the bottom of the second inning. It's a 7-4 ball game. Runners on second and first with just one away. The payoff. Licone swings through a slider. He's unhappy with that one as he had gotten a piece of it the 2 pitches before that, and now this time he strikes out. But that is not out number 3. That's right. Usually the Sunfish have only made it through 2 or 10 batters in an inning. Well, now they're on hitter number 11 here in the bottom of the second inning. The first time that's ever happened for the Sunfish this season. Cameron Daigle throws a fastball inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes to Cricket Danielson, who struck out already in the second inning. Daigle, a righty, he starts his approach kind of already hunched over as a pitch misses inside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. And then his delivery, he's got a quick knee lift before kind of tilting over, and he throws sidearm. An interesting approach. I still can't get over that. The oh crap worked again. This time a very long slider. It started about right over the plate, ended up in the opposite batter's box in the dirt as it gets Cricket Danielson to chase for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. With 2 outs here in the second inning, the Sunfish lead by 3. Here's the 2-1. Another breaking ball misses away. Good eye by Cricket Danielson. He's been struggling a bit with the sliders this season, likes to chase them away. And, well, we've seen it a couple times already today. On the 3-1 from Daigle. Cricket Danielson gets a piece of this one high and deep to left center. That's going to bounce in front of the wall and up against the wall. 1 run's going to score. The throw in from left. Cricket Danielson walks in to second, gives the fish gills from second base. That's his second double of the season as 2 score, and the Sunfish have busted open this lead. Now a 5-run lead in the bottom of the second inning. What a way to end a 5-strikeout streak for Cricket Danielson. He drives in 2 and clears the bases with his 2-out double in the second inning. Benito Garcia will get his second at-bat of the game and of the inning. He was the first single and the second base runner as a slider misses low and away. A hard hit ball by Dylan Cricket Danielson gets him to second. And with 2 outs, the Sunfish continue to rally. A spin by Daigle, but no one was covering at second. Still gets Cricket Danielson to dive back into the base. The 12th batter of the inning, Garcia, takes a fastball below the knees. It's 2 balls, no strikes. This is the most plate appearances in a single inning for the Sunfish this season. As at the beginning of the inning, on a pitch inside, if Garcia had just stood there, I think it would have hit him, but he brought in the hands and turned on it. Didn't get any contact for strike 1. Here's the 2-1 to Garcia. Came across the zone, he drives it into right field. Fogelstrom having trouble with it. The ball's carrying off the wall. Garcia is rounding second, but stops. The throw in from Fogelstrom on the fly hits Sitzman. And the wind just kept carrying that one just to the right of the 353 in the right center field alleyway. Back-to-back 2-out doubles, and the lead is now 6. As the 9th run crosses here in the second inning. It seemed like the Whiskey Jacks were having their comfortable lead with a 4-1 as Adonis Forte takes a fastball on the outside corner. But then the Sunfish just decided, we want our lead back, and they've scored 9. A curveball gets Forte to chase. It's now no balls, 2 strikes to the Sunfish left fielder. Here's the 0-2. It misses low and away. It's now 1-2. The wind really picking up now, and the flags and the trees all blowing left to right. The flagpole out in center field is really shaking, and, well, Benito Garcia's pitch was evidence of that, as a pickoff attempt and the tag from Sitzman are not successful to Benito Garcia out at second. And a slider gets Forte inside. He swings and misses to end this second inning. But, man, did a lot happen. We'll quick give you that nice little recap. We have 9 runs. Let's see how many hits there were. 9 runs off 4 hits, 2 errors, 1 left on base. It's a 10-4 ball game after 2 complete from Carroll, Iowa. We'll return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. Every single Sunfish in the lineup scored in that second inning. Dylan Cricket Danielson with his 2-out double was later driven in by Benito Garcia. He was the one who led off the inning. I was the last one to finally cross. 9 crossing that second inning for the Sunfish. It's 10-4 as we begin the third with a new pitcher on the mound for Sioux Falls, Jorge Galindo. Brooks Capel's day is done after 2 innings of 4-run, 6-hit baseball. Galindo's first pitch is skyrocketed to left field. Forte initially lost it, but it's just on the edge of the infield, and making the easy grab is Benito Garcia. I thought that was carrying a little bit more. As it was just skyrocketed, it must have gotten caught by the wind and just died in the air as Garcia made easy work of it. Adonis Forte, I was watching him to see how he would read it, and he had to take his hat off of his head to try and find the ball. And as he started to charge in, I saw Garcia at shortstop camping underneath it, and Jorge Galindo gets a quick out. A foul tip on what looked to be a fastball gets Nolan Drill for strike 1. Galindo is in his 3rd appearance this season as he comes in the 3rd inning. 1.58 ERA, In 5 2/3 innings pitched, his slider gets away from Kalehu and slowly rolls to the backstop. Count is even at ones. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk off 5 hits. And just 2 runs allowed, only 1 of them earned in his 2 appearances. His last one was last Sunday against the Sioux Valley Saberdogs. And change up. He gets drilled a chase, and he's now down 1 ball, 2 strikes. The wind's starting to become a factor here at Merchants Park. It was evident during Benito Garcia's long double to the alleyway. Here's the 1-2. A curveball bounces in the dirt. A 4:12 start time today, just behind the originally scheduled 4:05 for game 1 of a 2-game doubleheader today. The 2-2 now from Galindo. Pop fly, shallow right, coming in is Thompson. He slows down and then carries over his head. The wind got a piece of it as he fires it into second. That wind picked up just at the last second. There is an American flag out in right field, and you can see it behind Thompson, and that picked up just at the last second. He overran the ball, and the wind got just a tad of it. And so Drill makes it all the way to second on the E9. First error of the game for the Sunfish after having 5 last night. So what should have been just a routine pop fly to Gannon Thompson turns into a runner in scoring position, similar to what happened last night in the 9th inning on a routine ground ball. Turned out to be a runner on second. A curveball hits at the knees to Dylan McKee, who walked and later scored in that 3-run top half of the 2nd inning for Wheat City. Galindo checking in. A slider misses low and away. It's 1-1. Galindo's really been relying on those breaking pitches so far in this inning. He got a first pitch quick swing from Stein, who flew out. This off the end of the bat in foul territory. Cricket Danielson looking to make a play on it, but that hooks and almost hits a fan in the bleachers down the right field line. Thank God she's okay, wearing a bright pink shirt, can't miss her. And it looked like the foul ball landed just on the railing to her right as she was covering her head, looking to try and protect herself from the falling foul ball. Dylan McKee down 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the 3rd inning. Runner goes to third, foul ball underneath the legs of Tristan Jones behind the dish. He slowly walks back, but is met by Houston Fogelstrom, who will grab it and toss it to the home plate umpire. Cade Kalehu goes out to talk with his pitcher. And it seems like Galindo's been missing a little low. He hasn't missed one really high in the zone yet. Has gotten a couple guys to chase. He got Drill with a high fastball to swing through one, but since that, he hasn't been going too high in the zone, just been going low and away. Here's the 1-2. Slider misses low and away again. Counts now even. Wind picking up again. Anyone who even just gets a piece of one and takes it to right field, that's going to just keep carrying. I think Thompson's going to have to make those adjustments out there. Galindo checks back. Here's the 2-2. Fastball held on just a bit too long. Misses on the outside corner. It's a full count. It's a 10-4 Sunfish lead after the 9-run 2nd inning for Sioux Falls. A runner on second with 1 out. Here's the 1-2. Into the glove of Benito Garcia. He drops it, fires it over, holds on to it. Was going to fire it over to first, but it wouldn't have been in time. It looks like it actually fell out of his hand on the transition as he picks it up. A hard hit ball that fell quickly, and Garcia tried making the late dive, and he instead trapped it underneath his glove. A good attempt there by Benny. And with 1 out, Houston Fogelstrom now steps up with runners on first and second after that base hit by McKee. Galindo's been keeping it in the infield for the most part. All aside from that fly ball to right field. He gets a sweeping curve, missing low and away. Again, really hasn't been relying too much on the fastball, and I think Jorge's got some zip behind him if he goes for it. Really been relying much on that breaking ball. Runner goes to third, fastball swung on a miss, throw down, and a swim at third. A nice slide by Nolan Drill. It's even hard to describe what happened. The throw was there. Norris McClure had the take there, and Drill slowed up, pushed himself behind third base, and then kind of did a little bit of I'll call it a twister. Like if you're like in a downward facing dog yoga position with your hands and feet, he kind of flipped it over as to where his chest was then facing up. That's the best way I can describe it. I know that makes zero sense. Here's the 1-1 off the end of the bat to the backstop for Fogelstrom. He's now down 1 ball, 2 strikes. One out, runners at the corners. Jonathan Brandon, Benito Garcia, double play depth. Cricket Danielson holding the runner on at first. Norris McClure now backing up a step behind third base. Pickoff attempt at first, no tag by Cricket Danielson. And Clay Huavehi, for having his arm bothering him for a lot of the early part of the season, has had some nice throws as a fastball just misses away. Galindo going for it with the 2-strike count. It's now an even 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'd say about 1/4 capacity on a liner into the glove of Garcia. He jumped up and was almost drifting backwards as he pushed off, and the ball just kind of floated into his glove. A nice jumping grab by Benito Garcia at shortstop off the end of the bat of Houston Fogelstrom. So now 2 outs with runners at the corners. No one has yet crossed for the Whiskey Jacks here in the top of the 3rd inning. We're at the 9th spot in the lineup as a fastball hits at the chest for strike 1. Joey Guajardo, who singled and was later caught stealing down at second. Or actually, he was part of the fielder's choice, rather, excuse me. Takes one into left field. Drifting back is McClure. The wind taking it. Garcia calls him off and makes the catch for out number 3. 2 are stranded in the 3rd inning. No runs crossed off 1 hit, 1 error. It's still 10-4 Sunfish when the Sunfish come to bat in the bottom half of the inning on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. No one crosses in the top of the third inning for the first time in today's game. Can the Whiskey Jacks hold the Sunfish scoreless after a big 9-run second inning that saw every man on the roster score and a whopping 13 at-bats for Sioux Falls? Cade Kalehuavehi takes I can't even tell what that motion was. I'm going to say that was a curveball. It was a nice breaking ball that crossed through the zone for strike one. It's hard to see when it comes out of the hand of Cameron Daigle. Grounder, left side. Sitzman fires over to first for out number one. That's the first time that a Sunfish has been retired by the ground out in today's game. There were 2 flyouts and 4 strikeouts on the day. So the first ground out is awarded to Cade Kalehuavehi for out number one in the bottom of the third. Daigle's changeup gets Dutka to swing for strike one. Kenny flew out in his first at-bat before reaching on an E4 and later scoring in that second inning. Looked like a curveball that just got away from Daigle, and it missed outside. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Dutka, the lefty, drives this one hard into right field. That's carrying back. Fogelstrom at the wall. There it is! Kenny Dutka with his second home run of the season. The wind got a piece of that one, and Kenny Dutka homers on Father's Day in front of his dad, Pete. It's now an 11-4 ball game for Kenny Dutka. A very similar hit to his first home run. Kenny homered all the way back in Game 2 against Fremont at the beginning of the season in his first swing of the season. This time, barrels it up, takes it over the right field wall. Wind helped just a little bit for it as it drove over the head of Houston Fogelstrom as Jonathan Brandon takes a breaking ball low in the dirt inside. So now 11-4 in favor of Sioux Falls, a totally different ball game than yesterday. A changeup gets Brandon to chase. It's now an even 1-1 count. And on Father's Day, Kenny Dutka gets to homer in front of his dad, Pete. That's something you like to see. A slider driven opposite field off the end of the bat of Brandon. And with one out, Jonathan Brandon reaches with a single. And it seems like Sunfish hitting has taken a full 180 from last night. It was 5 runs for them. And now the Sunfish are back on their double-digit runs streak. Pickoff attempt at first, got Jonathan Brandon. He was caught just a bit too far off, and Daigle gets him. And for the Sunfish, who are very aggressive on the base paths, who are top 2 in stolen bases, well, they lead in being caught stealing. That's the 32nd time a runner has been caught on the base paths for Sioux Falls, and now 2 outs as a pitch misses low and away to Norris McClure. Here's the 1-0. Slider misses on the outside corner. It's 2-0. And, well, in terms of caught stealing, Jonathan Brandon actually leads the team in that category as another breaking ball gets by Rhett Stein off the end of the glove. It doesn't roll too far as Cameron Daigle gets the new ball. Here's the pitch to McClure, misses below the knees, and on the 3-0 count, McClure draws the 2-out walk. A leadoff ground out by Cade Kalehuavehi is followed up by a solo home run by Kenny Dutka and a single by Jonathan Brandon before he was caught stealing. Brought us to 2 outs before Norris McClure now. Another base runner gets on with 2 away. That's the 5th time this season Jonathan Brandon has been caught stealing or just caught on the base pass as Thompson swings through a first pitch curveball. Thompson was hit by a pitch on the pickoff attempt over to first base. McClure back safely with no tag. Thompson was hit by a pitch, or walked, excuse me, and scored in that second inning after flying out to second base his first time. Curveball misses low and inside. It's an even 1-1 count. My scorebook's getting a little cramped as Thompson is the last batter as he takes a slider on the inside corner for strike 2. Thompson was the last batter right now before we get back to the guys who hit twice in the second. There goes McClure as a foul ball drifts back and right over the grandstand. I see a fan running to go get it already. I think he dropped a foul ball he's already gotten in the process. Lee Cohn, Cricket Danielson, Benito Garcia, and Adonis Forte, the 4 who hit twice in the second inning. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. The slider got him. So Gannon Thompson strikes out swinging, but 1 run off 2 hits, no errors. 1 left on base for Sioux Falls after the long ball by Kenny Dutka makes it a 7-run ball game. We head to the top of the 4th after this from Merchants Park in Carroll, Iowa.
Purchase your lunch balls.
Back from Merchants Park on Father's Day. It's a 7-run ball game as we start off with a 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th inning. Caleb McDowell, Ethan Sitzman, and Jake Hjelle. McDowell has scored twice already. He's half of the runs for the Whiskey Jacks in today's game as a curveball misses inside for a ball to lead off the 4th. McDowell reached on a single in the first inning, still a base, and later scored as a breaking ball misses away. It's 2-0. He then reached on a fielder's choice and later scored in that 3-run second inning for Weed City, but the Sunfish would triple that run amount in the bottom half of the inning as McDowell swings through a changeup. 3 in the top of the second, 9 in the bottom half, and that's what gave the Sunfish their 10-4 lead before Kenny Dutka's solo home run over the right field wall in the bottom half of the 3rd made it a 7-run ball game. A fastball hits at the knees, and McDowell has the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes from Jorge Galindo in his second inning of work. 7 hits for both teams as a sweeping curve misses away. Galindo not too happy with that one. Not sure if he was not happy at himself for letting him that one curve as far as it did, or he wasn't happy with the fact it wasn't a strike. But here's the payoff. A fastball misses high. McDowell reaches for the 3rd time today. And McDowell has reached every time he has stepped up to the plate in this series. He reached 5 times yesterday. went 3 for 5, reaching on 2 errors. Pickoff attempt at first, no take by Cricket Danielson. So he reached 5 times on 3 base hits, 2 errors yesterday, before a check swing by Ethan Sitzman goes to the backstop on the foul ball. Before reaching on a single today and the fielder's choice and now a walk. So 8 straight times reached base. I don't know, going back to Thursday's game against the Badlands Big Six, a hard grounder to Brandon, to Garcia, to Cricket Danielson. 4-6-3 clears the bases on the double play.
Brandon to Garcia to Cricket for the double play.
A 4-6-3 double play clears the bases, and now with 2 outs, it's Jake Hjelle. And Robbie Laughlin is out arguing with field umpire Sam Barrett about something. Everything looked clean to me. He's coming over from third base. Laughlin coaches third base for the Whiskey Jacks. Laughlin yells, and now he gets the stop sign from Barrett. He's now looking at Tristan Jones, giving him his case. They might have maybe called base runner interference, or maybe said that Garcia didn't touch second. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. To me, it looked like Garcia hit it, but Laughlin raised his voice, and you could hear it from up here. Usually when they're arguing out on the field, I can't hear many words being said, but at the end, he just said, "It was right in front of you." First pitch to Hjelle, fouled over the covering here on the grandstand and into the parking lot behind us. Kids running to go get their souvenirs in today's game. I want to see how many kids have more than one foul ball here. See the collections that have been starting to form. Here's Galindo's pitch to Hjelle, the 0-1, in the dirt, stopped by Kalehu Avehi. He picks it up off the hop, bare hands it, and fires it back. Jorge Galindo got a kick out of that one with a smile. Through an inning and 2/3, Galindo has just thrown his 30th pitch. Here's the 31st. A fastball misses away. He's asking where that was. He was asking if it was high. Tristan Jones telling him no, that was outside. It looked like it was good height, just at the numbers across the chest. As the wind picks up, blowing everything everywhere as a curveball misses low and away. Empty water bottles flying here. My scorebook pages are turning. That's the one downfall of being outside of a press box, is when the wind starts to blow, all my notes start blowing everywhere as well if I don't have them taped down. I do have my cell phone holding down the pages as a paperweight. The 3-1 rolled over into the glove of McClure at third. Soft throw over to first, in time to get Hjelle for out number 3.
3 up, 3 down.
An unofficial 3 up, 3 down after McDowell drew the walk, but the double play cleared the bases as Hjelle just grounds out as well. No runs off, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. After the top half of the 4th inning, we head to the bottom. It's a 7-run ball game from Merchants Park in Carroll. Back from Merchants Park in Carroll, Iowa on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. I'm David Coyer, bringing you all the action of this game and the next and all season long here on the Sunfish Radio Network. And for home games, the live stream on YouTube. It's a 7-run ball game in the bottom of the 4th inning from Carroll, Iowa for the road home game. I think that's the proper way to do it. Licone, the first at-bat. Jesus Licone takes a slider inside from the righty Cameron Daigle. Licone, Cricket, Danielson, and Garcia as Licone grounds one through the hole at the left side for a base hit. He's slowly trotting down to first base as his first base hit of the day. He walked and struck out in that long 2nd inning. And that brings up Dylan Cricket Danielson, who with 2 outs had an RBI double that would score. Well, who would that score? That ended up scoring Gannon Thompson. As a foul goes back into the plate and rolls behind the umpire for strike 1 to Dylan Cricket Danielson. That's his 2nd double of the season for Cricket Danielson. His first one came at the first home game for Sioux Falls. All the way back, if my memory serves me correctly, that was June 3rd, June 4th. Pickoff attempt no good to get Licone. We're going to look this one up. You know, I should know these dates. It's my job to know the dates. But they sometimes just start to roll together. June 4th, I was right, as Cricket Danielson's hit with a pitch. Well, what do you know? Another hit batter in today's game. That's the 2nd today. Norris McClure was the first, and that's hit batter number 39 on the season for Sioux Falls, looking for lucky number 40. Either today in Game 1 or today maybe even in Game 2, as Benito Garcia comes up with runners on first and second, no outs. Again, it's inning number 4 of a 7-inning Game 1 as a slow curveball hits at the knees to Benito Garcia. Taking a quick look across the Expedition League, some games are underway, some are not. From Oregon Trail Park Stadium, the Western Nebraska Pioneers and the Hastings Sodbusters are scoreless in the top of the 2nd inning. Benito Garcia waits on the breaking ball, but gets it off the end of the bat, foul on the opposite side. The Fremont Moo and the Badlands Big Sticks are just underway in the bottom of the 1st inning and from Dickinson, and it's still scoreless after the Big Sticks have taken 2 from the Moo, while the Western Nebraska Pioneers have moved a half a game ahead in first place in the Clark Division. Garcia pulls this one into left field, but just didn't barrel it up enough as he flies out to Nolan Drill in left field. Got it just a little bit too much down the handle, and now Adonis Forte steps up with 1 out. The Pier Trappers and the Stewart Valley Sabre Dogs are tied from Corbett Field and Minot at 1-1 in the bottom of the 1st inning. And the Spearfish, Sasquatch, and Canyon County Spuds are in pregame. Their game has not started yet as the slider misses on the outside corner. The Mining City Tommyknockers and Casper Horseheads get underway from Three Legends Field with a 7:05 first pitch, roughly the same time that Game 2 of this doubleheader will be starting. A fastball swung on and missed by Forte evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be interesting to see how the Sunfish handle the doubleheader. They haven't had one yet this season, and you'll have to wonder, as a pickoff attempt, Licone was dancing at second. He gets underneath the tag from Sitzman. Licone, another Sunfish who's notorious for being very flamboyant on the base paths and sometimes getting caught stealing or just picked off or even trying to take an extra base. As a curveball misses outside, it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Adonis Forte struck out and singled in his last 2 at-bats. He was one of 2 guys who have gotten 2 at-bats in that 2nd inning. As a slider cutting through the zone, Forte just got underneath it as he fouls it to the backstop. Kenny Dutka, who had the solo home run in the bottom of the 3rd inning, going to go get that one. High toss to Kalehuavehi, bounces into the hand of Cade. We have some action in the Wheat City bullpen. I'll get a number and a name in just a moment. The 2-2 misses low and away. Good eye by Forte, brings the count full. Looks like Brandon Nix, the righty from Omaha, Nebraska, is warming up for Wheat City. We'll see if Cameron Daly can make it through this inning. Forte rolls over one into the glove of Hjelle. He fires it to second. Sitzman can't make the fire back to first for the double play. They do get Cricket Danielson at second, however, on the 3-6 fielder's choice. So Forte reaches on the 3-6 fielder's choice, while Cricket Danielson heads back to the Sunfish dugout. Lee Cohn over to third on the ground out. Cade Kalehuavehi, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout, but he walked and scored in the second, steps up with runners at the corners. Takes the first pitch high, carrying to right field. That's drifting back at the wall. Fogelstrom lost it in the sun and recovered. The ball, the way Fogelstrom was moving, the ball was being picked up by the wind that's still blowing strongly out to right. But he recovered this time to make out number 3. It's the first inning that no Sunfish has crossed, so no run score of 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. It's still a 7-run ball game as we head to the top of the 5th on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. The Whiskey Jacks trail 11-4 to the Sioux Falls Sunfish in Game 1 of this 2-game doubleheader on Father's Day from Carroll, Iowa. It's Jackson Sorensen, Rhett Stein, and Nolan Drill due up here in the top of the 5th inning. And the first pitch from Jorge Galindo is a changeup that misses away. And now, so this is a question that I've always had. It's always curious. It's the 7-inning game. Here's the 1-0 from Galindo. A chopper off the end of the bat. Charging in is McClure. He fires over to first. Is he in time? Yes, it is. A bang-bang play at first base off the strong arm by Norris McClure. And that was very close, and it looks like both of the base coaches for Wheat City are not too happy with that call. It brings up Rhett Stein. First pitch from Galindo is a fastball that misses high. Eric Hart Mark Reardons and Robbie Laughlin, the coaching staff for Wheat City, as a curveball bounces in the dirt, backhanded by Kalehu Avehi for ball 2. And it's Eric Hart at first. He's the one who was, his body language, you could tell, no, he was safe. As a fastball is skyrocketed behind the plate. Kalehu Avehi up against the wall. That's all he's going to stop, as there's a loud bang on the overhang above us. But back to my question. In a 7-inning ball game like this, 2 games of a doubleheader, when is the 7th inning stretch? That's it. I mean, I feel like that's a good question. 2 balls, 1 strike. As a slider misses away, it's 3 balls and a strike now. It's a good question. It's a good question. When is the 7th inning stretch in a 7-inning ball game? Grounded to short, fired over to Cricket Danielson for out number 2. Garcia with a nice field and a good throw over to first. So a 5-3 and a 6-3 putout here in the 5th inning brings up Nolan Drill. I personally think it's in between the top and the bottom half of the 5th inning. That's, you got 2 innings till the end of the game, similar to how a 7th inning stretch, you have roughly 2 innings until the end of the game. Let's get your thoughts in the YouTube live chat and the Mixlr chat. A curved ball hits the upper part of the zone for strike 1. We got some kids playing underneath us, trying to jump over a Gatorade, spilt it off the end of the bat to the backstop, off a fastball. Drill fouls 1 for strike 2. We got our cameraman Sean with us. Sean, what do you think? When is the 7th inning stretch?
I would have to agree. I think it happens in between the 7th, or the bottom and the top half of the 7th inning.
You mean the 5th inning, as we're in a 7-inning ball game?
Yep, that's what I meant.
We knew what you meant. This one drilled sharply into center field. Dutka camps underneath it for out number 3. A 3-up, 3-down inning here from Merchants Park, and we'll see if they do the 7th inning stretch. We'll let you know as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning.
We've been sitting for a while. Time to get up, take a stretch. Remember, this is only
Well, my question got answered quite quickly. The PA announcer said, we've been sitting for a while. Let's do the 7th inning stretch in between the bottom and top half of the 5th inning. And so we did that here at Merchants Park. We had the 7th inning stretch during a 7-inning ball game after the top of the 5th. So that answered that question real quickly. It's a 7-run ball game as Kenny Dutka, who homered in his last time up, steps up against a brand new pitcher, and he swings through a changeup. Dutka facing off against Brandon Nix, who's in his 6th appearance, time called by Dutka just before Nick started his approach. 12 even ERA through 1 start, 5 appearances, 9 innings pitched, 1 strikeout, 13 walks. A hanging curve pulled just a bit too much by a smiling Dutka, and that's rolling almost to the fence, the outfield wall, down the right field line. Nix has 1 appearance. It was in that 8-0 Sunfish victory as Dutka chases a pitch on the outer half of the plate for an early strikeout. All the way back on June 2nd, Nix went 1 inning of relief, allowing just 1 hit and a walk. Jonathan Brandon, who singled and was caught stealing in the 3rd inning, steps up for his 4th plate appearance. Takes a fastball high. He's reached every time. In the 1st inning, he reached on a drop 3rd strike, later would score, walked in the 2nd, and then singled his last time up. Sunfish just had 8 hits as a fastball misses on the inside corner for ball number 2. Nix relieves Cameron Daigle, who only made it just 2 2/3 innings as a pitch hits at the knees to Jonathan Brandon for strike 1. And a curveball gets Brandon looking, and it's now an even 2-2 count. Here's the 2-2 now from Nix. Drilled hard into right center field. That's carrying at the wall. There it is! How about another home run? Jonathan Brandon gets his first of the season. He joins the home run parade for the Sunfish. Another solo shot in this one, and it's now a 12-4 ball game on the fastball to Jonathan Brandon.
That's a Hy-Vee home run. Hy-Vee, making life easier, healthier, happier.
The Sunfish have homered in every game this past week. They started their home run parade with 2 last Sunday. Norris McClure had 1 on Tuesday against the Trappers, as a curveball misses high to McClure. He had a home run in Tuesday's game. In Wednesday, Benito Garcia got his first long ball of the season before McClure kept the home run hitting streak alive with his absolute monstrous of a home run over the right field wall in Pier. McClure takes a breaking ball away. It's a 2-0 count. Off the end of the bat, he chased a fastball away into the back netting. With Friday's day off yesterday, Gannon Thompson kept the streak alive for Sioux Falls before Kenny Dutka had his solo shot, now followed by Jonathan Brandon. The 2-1 to Norris McClure. A breaking ball misses low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Cameron Daigle ends his day with 2 2/3 innings pitched. 2 runs off 5 hits, only 1 run was earned. 1 walk and 3 strikeouts to the Sunfish. It's an 8-run ball game as McClure fouls one off the mask of Brett Stein to make the count full. Jonathan Brandon's home run marks home run number 10 for Sioux Falls. Kenny Dutka's was 9. JB's was 10. Here's the payoff pitch to McClure. A fastball misses away. He draws the walk. Back-to-back walks drawn by Norris McClure. He's reached every time today with a single, a hit by pitch, and now 2 walks. The on-base percentage of the Sunfish has skyrocketed in the past week. I'll actually take a quick look at that to get you the exact numbers. Gannon Thompson steps up with 1 away, runner on first. Takes a fastball right at the letters for strike number 1.
That brings up right fielder Gannon Thompson.
So looking back to June 13th, pickoff attempt not in time at first. The Sunfish went into last Sunday's game with a 400 on-base percentage, even 400. They come into today's game with a 424. OBP. Here's the one-strike pitch, a breaking ball, blocked in the dirt in the left-handed batter's box by Rhett Stein. It's an even 1-ball, 1-strike count. So in just 7 days, the Sunfish have raised their on-base percentage by 24 points. They've been seeing the ball a lot better as a fastball misses high. It's now 2-1. And it's really been, thanks to good old Mr. Base on Balls, the walk. Here's 2 balls and 1 strike to Thompson. Takes a curveball high and inside. It's now 3-1. 48 walks in the past week since last Sunday, which is 2 days off, is, well, there's another walk. And that's 48 walks coming into today's game. That's the early numbers. There's now a runner on first and second with just 1 away for Jesus Licone. Licone's 1 for 2 with a single, a strikeout, and a walk. As there's Mr. Dutka walking behind home plate with his neon green shoes. His son Kenny hit a solo home run on Father's Day. Licone pokes this one into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. McClure is going to get the stop sign and third. Thompson took a hard round around second base to throw in, cut off at the mound by Jake Hjelle. And now, since a leadoff strikeout by Kenny Dutka, the next 4 have, well, reached. Jonathan Brandon's got a solo shot right after Dutka's strikeout, and then back-to-back walks and now a single brings up Dylan Cricket Danielson with the bases loaded and 1 away. Wind has not died down, still blowing across the field left to right, really carrying out to right field, as that's been apparent by the 2 home runs that have gone that way. A curveball swung on and missed, and Cricket Danielson really likes to swing at those first pitch curves. No balls, 1 strike to the man with the teal stirrups. I do appreciate those. He's got a teal pair and an orange pair. He drives a fastball high and deep to left field, but camping underneath it is Drill. I thought he got more of a barrel on that one, did Danielson, and I think he did too. And with the wind blowing the opposite way, I don't think that helps at all either. Now with 2 outs, Benito Garcia, who flew out his last time after having a single and a double in the second inning, steps up. So 2 outs, runners at first and second. 12 runs, 10 hits for Sioux Falls. 4 runs, 7 hits for Wheat City. A curveball cuts through the zone and hits the outside corner for a strike. Just the bottom of the 5th inning here in game 1 of the doubleheader. The second doubleheader starting about a half hour after this one. Here's the 0-1, fastball high. I wonder if either team is going to switch their uniforms up in between games. Get these guys changing out of their sweaty jerseys and pants. Curveball taken off the end of the bat. The wind blowing that to right field, but Houston Fogelstrom camps underneath it for an easy out number 3. But 1 run crosses on the long ball from Jonathan Brandon. He was 1 of 2 hits that inning, no errors. 3 left on base, for Sioux Falls. After 5 complete innings, it's now an 8-run ball game in favor of the Sunfish. We head to the top of the 6th after this.
Yeah, he was ordering, but he was one of the good ordering ones. Laying off for the Whiskey Jacks. Top of the sixth. Second baseman, Dylan McKee.
Back in the top of the sixth inning from Merchants Park in game one of this two-game doubleheader, Jorge Galindo deals to Dylan McKee, who swings through a slider for strike one. It's McKee, Fogelstrom, Guajardo, the 7-8-9 hitters for this Whiskey Jacks team, who trails by 8 in the sixth inning. Galindo blows a fastball by him for strike two. Still been relying a lot more on those breaking pitches. The curveball, the occasional slider with a changeup in there, but when he needs to attack the zone, his fastball's been his friend. And there's the curveball that misses away, trying to get McKee to chase. McKee 1 for 1 with a single and a walk in just 2 plate appearances since Galindo has come in. He hasn't allowed many base runners. He chases the curveball. Does McKee for out number 1.
That's the Sunfish strikeout, brought to you by Remedy Boy of Sioux Falls.
That's just the third strikeout of the day for Sunfish pitching. Brooks Capel had 2 through the first 2 innings. And since Galindo has come in the third inning, he has not struck out anybody. That's his first one. He had back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings as Houston Fogelstrom takes a pitch low and away for ball 1. Brooks Capel seems to struggle a little bit after he gets by a first inning of work. Second pitch, foul to the backstop. Makes the count even at 1-1. Fogelstrom with a single and a line out to Benito Garcia. He's one of the 4 runs that have crossed. No run has crossed since the second inning for the Whiskey Jacks. A sweeping curve gets Fogelstrom looking for strike 2. He wasn't happy with that one. And I can only help but think that maybe the wind helped a little bit on that curveball. That had a lot of movement on it. The 1-2 fastball blown by Fogelstrom. He actually got a piece of it on the foul tip call by Tristan Jones behind the plate. That's the 28th strikeout of the season for Fogelstrom, his first of the day, and the second strikeout for Galindo of the day and in this inning, Joey Guajardo. Or actually, Trey. I don't know why I have Joey written down. I've been calling him Joey all day. It's Trey Guajardo. Takes the first pitch and skyrockets it to center field. Wind carrying it to the right. Dutka backs up a little bit, but makes the catch. Back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings on 2 strikeouts and a flyout. It's still an 8-run ball game as we head to the bottom half of the inning on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. Jorge Galindo has retired. Well, if you include the double play, that's 9 straight. And if you do include that, that goes back to the third inning where he has retired 11 straight. As Adonis Forte takes a curveball just at the knees for strike 1. It's an 8-run ball game in favor of the Sunfish as first base coach Tyler Olmstead gets a late jump out to his position. A fastball hits at the knees on the lower outside corner. And Forte is down, no balls, 2 strikes. And obviously there's the walk in there that allowed the double play, so we're going to go with just 9 straight retired. The 0-2 fouled off the end of the bat to the backstop. So Jorge Galindo has retired 9 straight through 3 innings of work. Actually, would he be up? No, he came in the third. He's pitched 4 innings thus far in today's game of relief. Galindo is on a hot streak. The 0-2 again fouled, opposite side, out of play, into the parking lot. Hopefully no one's car is getting hit, because that looks like that's almost heading that way. And I know Sean drove here. Sean, hopefully you didn't park over there. He's shaking his head no, so hopefully his car hasn't gotten hit. Curveball misses low. Again, Sean made the drive down here yesterday for this 3-game series on the weekend. Sean from Vermillion, South Dakota. He's been doing a great job with the live stream at Merchants Park. A breaking ball misses away to Forte. He's battled back to an even count. So some thank you Sean's in the Mixlr chat or the YouTube live stream would be appreciated. He's been doing a great job. Forte drives this one high and deep to right field. That's at the scoreboard. There it is! Another home run for the Sunfish. And Adonis Forte gets his first long ball of the season. He's the second Sunfish today to homer in front of his dad on Father's Day. A leadoff home run. He gives a point to his dad. Adonis Forte the second, the namesake of his father, hits a home run over the scoreboard here at Merchants Park on Father's Day. It's now 13-4 Sunfish. Forte had that triple against Pierre to the deepest part of the ballpark as Cade Calais-Huawehi takes a fastball outside. The power had been coming. He had extra base hits in his last 2 games, and now he has a long ball to accompany that as a foul ball over the grandstand makes the count even at 1-1. 3 home runs today for Sioux Falls hitters. Kenny Dutka got the show started with his solo shot, followed by a solo home run by Jonathan Brandon in the 5th. And now it was Adonis Forte's turn as a curveball bounces in the dirt, backhanded by Rhett Stein. The 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th inning is when it got done. And the lead is now 13-4 for Sioux Falls as a slider hits the outside corner. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. No one away here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Brandon Nix is in his 2nd inning of work. He's allowed 2 home runs thus far. As the curveball gets Calais-Huawehi to chase for a strikeout, number 1. That's the 2nd of the day for Nix. Kenny Dutka, who's one of 2 whose fathers is in the crowd today. 1 of 3, actually. He's just 1 of 2 who has hit the long ball for his dad. Fastball outside corner, it's for a strike. And all 3 home runs have been roughly to the same part of the park. Kenny Dutka and Adonis Forte, 2 lefties who have pulled it over the right field wall. Dutka rolls over one. It fouls off of his leg, it looked like. As he kicks his foot into the ground, it's now no balls, 2 strikes to Kenny. And they pulled it, and with the wind blowing out there, it definitely helped. Forte got a nice piece of one, and the wind got just underneath it. A curveball misses the outside corner. Jonathan Brandon hit it opposite field, and he definitely took advantage of that wind. He's a very powerful guy, but you could tell the wind was pushing it as Houston Fogelstrom just kept drifting back. A liner off the end of the bat opposite field for a base hit from Dutka. That's his 2nd hit of the day, apart from the solo home run. And with 1 out, a runner on first, the other man with a home run, Jonathan Brandon, steps up. He has a couple words quickly with home plate umpire Tristan Jones. Jones walked up to him. Wonder what that was about. Louisiana Saturday night playing over the speakers here at Merchants Park for the road home game between the Sunfish and the Whiskey Jacks. Now you can tell where the wind's blowing from because, well, the blue covering, pickoff attempt at first, not in time. Even on the tag from Hjelle, Dutka slid in time. But the covering in the foul territory down the left field line is blowing straight up, foul to the back netting. As is the 358 sign in the left center field alleyway. You can see right through it, and it doesn't look like it was tied down well enough. And that's where the wind's been blowing from all game. It's picked up quite a bit as the flagpole in center is shaking. A sweeping curve misses low and away. It's ones across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The only inning the Sunfish haven't scored was the 4th. Pickoff attempt at first, this time no tag from Hjelle. 1 run in the first, 9 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in the 5th and 6th. A pickoff attempt again, keeping Dutka honest. Now the pitch, a curveball, just misses the outside corner. It was a bit high as well to Jonathan Brandon. Two balls, 1 strike to JB. He takes a fastball just a bit outside. I think it might have been high as well. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to the Sunfish second baseman. Fastball misses away, and he walked him. Dutka advances to second. Brandon stays at first, or heads his way down to first. And now with 1 out, Norris McClure, who's been, well, on a walk streak. He's walked the past 2 times, but reached all 4 times today. 13-4 Sunfish. The lead was extended with a solo home run to kick off the inning by Adonis Forte. Here's the pitch to McClure. He rolls over one into the glove of Hjelle, who spins and fires to second. The return to first, not in time despite the long stretch by Hjelle, who has to slowly walk him back upright. So another 3-6 fielder's choice. And Dutka moves to third on the 3-6. It's now 2 outs with runners at the corners. A very similar situation to the 4th inning, in which no runs crossed, but 1 has already crossed here in the 6th. Let's see what Gannon Thompson can do with runners at the corners and 2 away. A fastball thrown so hard that Brandon Nix's hat blew right off, but it missed low and away. Update around the league. Hastings Sodbusters now hold a 1-run lead in the top of the 5th over the Pioneers. The Moo and the Big Sticks are still scoreless in the top of the 4th from Dickinson. A curveball misses inside. The Sabre Dogs have pulled away just slightly. It's 3-2 in the top of the 3rd from Minot. And the Canyon County Spuds in the top of the 2nd hold a 1-run lead over the Spearfish Sasquatch. Change up, misses on the outside corner. It's now 3 balls and no strikes to Thompson, who walked in the last inning as well. 0 for 2 with 2 walks is Thompson. And he had the green light on the 3-0 as he fouls it to the back netting. Would have been a borderline pitch on the outside corner, but he swung anyway, and with a 9-run lead, well, swing away. Swings at this one. High and deep to right field. Fogelstrom at the warning track makes the catch just in front of it. The wind had died down slightly, and you can see Thompson smiling at first. He wanted another big fly after having one yesterday. Everyone else had been hitting home runs in that direction. He wanted to join in on the fun. Adonis Forte gets his first home run of the season to kick off the 6th. 1-run crosses off 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base for the Sunfish as they head to the final inning, the 7th. Here from Merchants Park, they lead by 9, and Austin Oblas is going to come in to close, and we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. Austin Oblas coming in to relieve Jorge Galindo with a 9-run lead in the 7th inning, trying to get the closing on the final inning of this first game of the doubleheader. The Sunfish lead by 9. Jorge Galindo went 4 innings of 1-hit baseball, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He ended his tenure with 9 straight retired. As a fastball from Oblas hits the inside corner to Caleb McDowell, who's going to lead off the 1-2-3 spots for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Sitzman and Hjelle to follow. McDowell currently has reached base 8 straight plate appearances, and that looks like it's about to end on a skyrocket to shallow right field. Thompson having to drift back as the wind got a piece of that one. And McDowell finally has not reached base for the first time in a minimum of 8 straight appearances. He had reached all 3 times today, all 5 times yesterday in the 2 games against the Sunfish thus far. But now with 1 away in the top of the 7th inning, it's Ethan Sitzman, who has not reached yet. He flew out, struck out, and grounded into a double play today as he takes a fastball just a bit. Gonna be honest, not sure where that one missed. Oblas doesn't care, so we're not going to get a confirmation from Tristan Jones. He might have just whispered it to Clay Huavehi. The 1-0. Hard hit off the bat. Drifting to right center field. Dutka calls off Thompson to make the catch. Thompson had to put on the brakes because he was coming over to get it. He's having a couple words with Dutka as I think Thompson, he was pointing. I think his route was a little bit off. He was going to go behind, and then Dutka kept coming back. 2 outs, the Sunfish are 1 out away from bouncing back in desirable fashion after last night's 6-5 heartbreaker of a loss. They lead by 9 after having 3 home runs hit, 2 of which by players with fathers in the audience. A fastball misses low and away to Jake Hjelle, who's 1 for 3 on the day. He had a 2 RBI double back in the 2nd. The 1-0 from Oblas. Curveball swung on and missed. It's an even 1-1 count. Two up, 2 down thus far in the top of the 7th inning. This will mark the last inning of Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Fastball just misses away. Again, Oblast, one of those pitchers, he's just got the velocity, man. He's got the pop in the glove. I want to see the 92 on the radar gun back at Karis Park. There's no radar gun here in Carroll, Iowa. The 2-1. Fastball swung on and missed by Hjelle. He can't even get a piece of it. The Whiskey Jacks down to their last strike. They were very vocal after their win last night, chirping at the Sunfish. We'll see what happens after this game. Slider swung on and missed by Hjelle. Dropped third strike. There's going to be no tag, and the Sunfish, they return in considerable fashion the favor that the Whiskey Jacks delivered yesterday. A final score 13-4 on the road, but the home game for Sioux Falls. 4 runs off 7 hits, 2 errors for Wheat City. They just had 5 left on base. They didn't get many base runners in the 4th through 7th innings. And for Sioux Falls, 13 runs off 12 hits, 1 error. We'll see how many Sioux Falls left on. They had quite the hit parade. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, just 10 left on base. But 13 cross. The final time, 6:37. So that is 2 hours and 25 minutes. The shortest game of the season, but it was just 7 innings. Your winning pitcher of the day, most likely Brooks Capel. He pitched 2 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He was still technically in the game when the Sunfish scored their 9. Otherwise, it might be Jorge Galindo who came in and threw 4. Austin Oblast comes in and closes it out. Goes 3 up, 3 down with 1 strikeout to end the inning. The losing pitcher for Wheat City will be Jake Anderson. He came in and he was looking good. He just allowed the 1 run in the first inning. And that was just because, well, Jonathan Brandon reached on a drop third strike. But then he would end up scoring and be 1-1 until the second inning when 9 would cross. It was when Anderson would get pulled out. He went 1 1/3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 9 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts for today's loss. The Sunfish improved to 10-11, just 1 underneath 500, while the Whiskey Jacks fall to 8-13. We'll be back for game number 2 in just about a half hour, 45 minutes on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. The second game of the doubleheader will also be a 7-inning ball game, as both teams have to head back to their respective homes later tonight. So we will be back a half hour. We'll be roughly on the air around 7:10, we'll say. Actually, no, about 7:15 is more accurate, most likely. We'll get the live stream and the Mixlr back up for game 2. The final score of game 1, the Sunfish rout the Whiskey Jacks 13 runs off 12 hits, 1 error, 10 left on base. To the Whiskey Jacks, 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 5 left on base. The time, 2:25. And we will be back on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream with Game 2 at about 7:15. But for now, go fish!